Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Hello and welcome to program Inside in V News English. Dear viewers, today is the 6th anniversary of Operation Swift Retard, which was carried out by Pakistan Air Force on 27th February 2019. A day after when India carried out strikes inside Pakistan and India claimed its surgical strike. So Pakistani Air Force the very next day, 27th of February, Operation Swift Retard, then shot down 2 of Indian fighter jets and captured Indian fighter pilot Abhinandan. So if we briefly go back to the conflict history between India and Pakistan, since 1947, India and Pakistan have been engaged in different conflicts. But turning point was 1998 when both states, India and Pakistan, acquired nukes, means nuclear weapons. Then in 2002, India was quite close in attacking Pakistan when India accused Pakistan that it was behind one of the deadly terrorist attack on Indian parliament. However, due to diplomacy by a number of countries and friends, that attack was prevented. Then this was most significant crisis in not only in South Asian history but also in India-Pakistan history, this Pulwama crisis. Pulwama was on 14th of February, an Indian military convoy came under terrorist attack, resulting into the killing of approximately 40 Indian soldiers. India immediately blamed Pakistan that attackers were trained and infiltrated by Pakistan into Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir. It was Pulwama district where this terrorist incident took place. Without any investigation, without any evidence, India blamed Pakistan for this. So days passed on. Then on 26th of February 2019, Indian fighter jet violating international law, Pakistan's sovereignty, Pakistan's space, came and attacked one of the place in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, that is a remote area village in Balakot, claiming that it has destroyed a seminary, alleged terror camp, and claimed that dozens of casualties took place. Later on, India played before the whole world, international community and international media, that it achieved its target. And it also claimed that it shot down Pakistan's F-16 fighter jet as well. So what was this Pulwama and why Pakistan carried out this Operation Swift Retard? What was the diplomacy behind this entire crisis? And due to this diplomacy which was played by Pakistan on a number of fronts, then finally this crisis was averted. And significant aspect was that there was also a threat given by Indian National Security Advisor to Pakistan that if Pakistani captured Indian pilot Abhinandan is not released, then India can attack Pakistan. What response Pakistan gave to Indian National Security Advisor? And within 48 hours, 26 to 27 February, the scene in Islamabad at diplomatic front, at political front, at economic front, at military front, at Air Force front, how Pakistan's civil military leadership met together, took prompt, swift decisions and carried out Operation Swift Retard 27th February 2019. To discuss this all, we are fortunate to have with us Pakistan's senior most strategic affairs analyst, Dr. Syed Muhammad Ali Saab. Dr. Syed Muhammad Ali Saab, very warm welcome to program Inside. And you have been watching these all developments since 14th February when Pulwama incident took place. And there have been hue and cry in Indian media that Pakistan is behind this particular attack. The attackers are the so-called militants which India said were sent from Pakistani so-called alleged training camps. Then ultimately days passed on, and on 26th of February, India carried out strikes claiming that number of so-called or alleged militants in one of the camp in Pakistan were killed, and Pakistani F-16 was also shot. What was this Pulwama story? And then what prompted India to attack Pakistan? And then on the next day, Pakistan carried out Operation codenamed Swift Retard. Share on that day some of the things that you have witnessed.
Thank you, Muteen Saab, for inviting me to discuss a very important chapter in the eventful crisis-prone history of South Asia, particularly involving two neighboring nuclear powers
True.
with a long history of unresolved conflicts and disputes. I think, first off, let me share with you, in my view, behind this Balakot attempted air attack by Indian Air Force, India had four strategic objectives. And they were very critical for Indian diplomatic, political, economic, and strategic interests. The first and foremost political interest for the Indian government was to achieve some sort of symbolic military victory against Pakistan and present it before the Indian nation and voters that Mr. Modi's leadership has given India the confidence
An
to
edge.
an opportunity to attack a nuclear armed Pakistan and embarrass and defeat it and convert it into a political victory in the upcoming elections. That was the political objective. The diplomatic objective was to present Pakistan internationally as a alleged source of terrorism, and essentially in the information and diplomatic domain isolate and blame Pakistan.
And sanctions could be imposed on Pakistan.
Exactly. And that could allow India an incremental objective of economically weakening Pakistan by building a case at FATF that Pakistan is allegedly involved in terror financing because they have some terror camps in
and
Pakistan,
supporting
and
terrorists,
which India is fighting. So India is fighting on behalf of the international community. The third objective was strategic. In order to give a signal to the international community, particularly the Western powers, that India has symbolically achieved regional hegemony within South Asia
quite significant.
and is ready and willing and capable of
adopting
rising
new
as a
role.
great power to contain China, because we have defeated Pakistan and embarrassed it beyond its nuclear threshold. And we have also weakened Pakistan's nuclear threshold, and we have undermined its nuclear deterrence as well.
True.
So these were the four objectives which Indian planners had in mind before this air attack by the Indian Air Force
26
was
February.
attempted inside Pakistani territory in the city of Balakot. Now, let me share with you sequentially the diplomatic aspect predates the incident of 14th February, Pulwama incident. Let me take you and viewers into confidence that in December 2018,
December 2018.
2 months before this alleged incident of Pulwama, Pakistan had credible intelligence information that India is planning a major false flag operation in order to negatively present Pakistan, put international pressure on Pakistan, and also gain political sympathy for re-election campaign of Mr. Modi. Based on this credible information,
True.
the then foreign minister invited the ambassadors of the P5
Countries in the foreign ministry.
and they were briefed about this real and present danger that Pakistan faced, and they were taken into confidence that Pakistan had tangible intelligence that this is the plan that India
which
has,
is going to occur.
which is going to occur 2 months before Pulwama crisis. Number one.
Very swift diplomacy by Pakistan.
Absolutely. So all P5 countries, US, Russia, China, France, and Britain were formally warned
Warned and taken into confidence.
India is likely to stroke a regional crisis, which tantamounts to undermining the strategic stability between two nuclear-armed neighbors. And this message was timely conveyed to all P5 major powers. Secondly, unfortunately, true to Pakistan's
Timely efforts.
assessment and expectation, an incident happened in Pulwama, and around 50 Indian paramilitary soldiers were killed.
Lost. Exactly.
But immediately, without any detailed independent inquiry and investigation, the blame was swiftly and solely put on Pakistan, which also reflected on a desperate urgency and a political need to blame Pakistan far more than the tact and responsibility that you would expect from any country to reach the real finding, to find the real causes of whatever had happened in Pulwama. Now, Pakistan armed forces were ready, and since we were aware of these plans, we had anticipated some irresponsible act by India.
And forces were made
on
ready to
the-
meet any eventuality.
The Army, Air Force and Navy and our strategic forces were ready for to meet any crisis situation.
True.
And unfortunately, true to our expectations, India attempted an air attack inside Pakistan territory. Initially, it launched 4 different formations all across the entire international boundary of Pakistan.
4 different formations.
4 different formations were launched by Indian Air Force. And since Pakistani Air Force was already in airspace, waiting for such an attack, 3 of the formations turned back, knowing that they will be shot down if they attempted any violation of Pakistan airspace. So the only place where they could attempt a hurried and failed
And
inquest
could go back.
was basically Balakot, because there also they did not violate Pakistan's airspace too much or too deeply, because they knew that Pakistan Air Force was in the air and they can be shot down. So they hurriedly dropped their payload, which consisted of the most latest and advanced Israeli precision guided munition spice bombs. And it was a large formation consisting of Mirage 2000 fighter aircraft. So these fighter bombers quickly dropped their payload in over Balakot and rushed back to their space in order to protect themselves from being shot down by Pakistan Air Force. And that is why when they went back for political point scoring, they claimed that they had destroyed some alleged terrorist camp, which never
training
existed.
Camp, exactly.
And you know very well, as a leading defense journalist, that Pakistan's media wing of Pakistani Armed Forces took international media to the site.
To that place, exactly.
And there was no terror camp over there.
Exactly.
The entire international media saw that. And secondly,
Except damaging a tree.
Yes,
Exactly.
and a leading Australian think tank, Australian Strategic Policy Institute, based on open source satellite imagery, made an assessment which proved that no significant building or structure was successfully targeted, and all 6 spice bombs, all precision guided munitions were wasted on rural unpopulated hilly areas, which further weakened the Indian claim that some target had actually been attacked or hit. Now, after that, Pakistan civil and military leadership met at the National Command Authority, which is the highest strategic decision-making body, because Pakistan saw this as a very serious, deliberate, irresponsible strategic behavior of India.
True.
And a violation of Pakistan's sovereignty and territorial integrity, and a deliberate attempt to undermine our deterrence.
So decision was made right over there.
And
To
the
retaliate.
National Command Authority met under the chairmanship of the Prime Minister, but also all the military commanders of Air Force, Army, Navy were there. Chairman Joint Chief of Staff
True.
Committee was there.
Strategic
And
command.
after serious deliberation, it was decided that Pakistan must respond timely, transparently, but proportionally and tactfully to ensure that Pakistan's territorial integrity and
True.
sovereignty is protected. Number two, this attack does not create a precedence. And thirdly, it restores the credibility of our deterrence, that
True.
Pakistan has the will, the capacity and the capability to go one notch up and give a proportionate, sobering and painful response to any aggressor which attempts to violate our territorial integrity and sovereignty. So this decision was taken at National Command Authority.
That there will be retaliation.
And Pakistan's Air Chief was tasked to prepare for a response. And let me share with you that considering the intelligence information, the response was already ready.
Response was already ready.
It was a matter of implementing and operationalizing the response.
Exactly.
Pakistan Air Force was ready. It has prepared for all such eventualities and misadventures that India can think of.
Think of.
So
True.
it was not that the plan was hurriedly made that what to do. That is not the
all
reality.
strategic aspects were
All
taken into consideration.
possible scenarios that
Scenarios,
India can
true.
imagine to hit Pakistan, harm Pakistan in any manner,
Were examined.
were examined, planned, trained, and our pilots were ready for this.
Very true.
And the plan was made, let me tell you, years ago.
Years ago.
And it was only implemented. And the next morning, unlike
India.
the Indian failed attempt to ingress and violate Pakistan airspace
True.
in the pitch of darkness, Pakistani Air Force retaliated in broad daylight, knowing that the element of surprise is not there.
It went into
They
their
knew
territory.
that the Indians would
Exactly.
be expecting a retaliation. So the Indian Air Force, their fighters, their surface-to-air missiles were ready,
Ready.
and they were expecting a retaliation. And secondly, Pakistan DGISPR had warned
Warned. Exactly. We
that the
remember there
response
was.
will come.
Exactly.
In response to your question, that the response will come, and India should be ready for our response.
Very true.
So Pakistan had promised a response. So India was ready and expecting a response.
That
and
it can come anytime.
and we carefully selected 5 targets, showed our capability, and despite the presence of Indian fighter aircraft and interceptors in the airspace, showed our capability, marked them, dropped our payloads where in a manner so that our capability is demonstrated without further escalation. And no loss of life occurred. But in order to subdue and limit the embarrassment that Indian Air Force had faced because of their failure to intercept even a single Pakistani fighter, they hurriedly pursued some of our fighters. But Pakistan had already prepared for a counter response, and notwithstanding the attacking Mirage and JF-17 Thunder aircraft, which were directly involved in delivering the payloads, there were interceptors which were ready that if the Indian air fighters make any attempt to shoot down or attack or interfere in the operation, they'll be attacked. And in that capacity, in that environment, Pakistan Air Force demonstrated ultimate professional excellence by synergizing not just its kinetic response, its offensive capability, its synergy of non-kinetic electronic warfare,
True.
as well as a very precise capability to intercept intruding Indian fighter jets. And you know very well that Mr. Abhinandan was captured and became
Exactly.
state guest of
So
Pakistan.
Pakistan destroyed 2 Indian fighter jets.
Pakistan destroyed a MiG-21 Bison, which was, which fell inside Azad Jammu and Kashmir. And Pakistan also targeted a Sukhoi 30 MKI. And its evidence was that despite Indian claim that Su-30 was not shot down, a few days later, Indian media reported that 2 Indian pilots had lost their lives in a road accident in Indian illegally occupied
Somehow in
Jammu and
order to
Kashmir.
cover
So
up.
they had to justify how did the 2 pilots had lost their lives.
Follow-up situation is very, very interesting. So Abhinandan, as you said, was captured and then was given nice treatment, was offered a cup of tea, which also went viral, and he enjoyed that cup of tea. Pakistani hospitality and treatment was extraordinary with that prisoner of war, right? With the prisoner that Pakistan captured of Indian Air Force. Share precisely that when Abhinandan was captured, then there was also a telephone call from Indian National Security Advisor who called a top Pakistani defense official, the then DG of Inter-Services Intelligence, who was Lieutenant General Asim Marir, currently Pakistan's army chief, and gave a direct threat that if in next few hours Abhinandan is not released, then Pakistan should be ready for major attack from India. What was that threat? It was a missile threat. Was it a nuke threat? And then how Pakistan's leadership responded. I mean, the then DG of ISI, how it responded and what happened. That is an interesting part of the entire episode.
Indeed, I think there are 2 aspects of the very eventful February 27 day. That is a major achievement for Pakistan in 4 domains. Pakistan embarrassed the Indian Air Force. Pakistan humbled their national security advisor. Pakistan humiliated India in front of the entire international community. And Pakistan Air Force reinforced its motto and slogan before the nation, which was given to it by our great founder Quaid-e-Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah, that Pakistan must build an air force which should be second to none.
None. This is very, very...
And they proved it. So there are 2 aspects. The first aspect is the air combat, and the second aspect is the strategic communication. The combat is very important because when Mr. Abhinandan was ordered to pursue Pakistan's fighters, he did not expect, but he was facing not just Pakistani brave and professional fighter pilots, he was also a victim and target of Pakistan's very successful electronic warfare. So when he took off, he was completely blinded. His radar was not working. His communication with the radar controller was jammed. And he could not, and in fact, there was so much confusion in the entire Indian air defense system that the Su-30 MKI, which was shot down, a helicopter was launched to rescue its pilots. And in that confusion and heat of the movement, India's own surface-to-air defense missiles shot down their own helicopter, which was dispatched to rescue the pilots of their own Su-30 MKI. And that explains...
This shows utter failure and confusion on the part of...
confusion. And secondly, it is very unfortunate that Mr. Abhinandan, when he was shot down and was gracefully returned to India,
what prompted Pakistan?
He was awarded the highest gallantry award of India for the alleged claim of shooting down an F-16. Whereas you would recall that when Pakistan retrieved the leftovers of the damaged MiG-21, it was shown to the international media that the 2 wings that were salvaged from the wreckage, it had all 4 intact missiles which it was flying with. That means that all 4 missiles which Abhinandan's aircraft was flying with, when it was shot down, not a single missile was exploded or launched. All 4 missiles were intact and they are still part of Pakistan's museum.
It was brought at Pakistan Air Force headquarters before
Absolutely.
national and international media. We witnessed it.
Absolutely. So no missile was used. So it is entirely up to their imagination how they shot down an F-16 if they had not used a missile. Number one. Secondly, when he was shot down, he was shown great magnanimity, professional hospitality according to international law, and he was gracefully returned as a confidence-building measure, as a sign of responsible strategic behavior by Pakistan in order to de-escalate tensions.
Was there any pressure on Pakistan?
And that brings me to the second aspect. After Mr. Abhinandan was shot down and captured, India, and what I am sharing with you is public knowledge now, but let me share with you that the Indian National Security Advisor, Mr. Ajit Doval, called Pakistan's then DGISI, who is the current Army Chief of Pakistan, Lieutenant General Syed Asim Munir, and threatened him that Pakistan should immediately return Mr. Abhinandan. Otherwise, Pakistan should face
consequences.
A missile attack
on
up to 7 to 8 cities. He was told point blank that if India thinks or attempts
Pakistan response
any attempt on Pakistan, they should be ready to face at least 3 times more damage than it is willing to inflict on Pakistan. It is that very timely
response,
very timely
communicated
strategic communication and escalation dominance by Pakistan, which prevented India from considering any further irresponsible strategic behavior. And after that, with confidence and grace, Pakistan returned Abhinandan, and then the crisis was diffused. So it is very important that in this entire episode, which the crisis was played out across 5 domains. Political domain, Indian Prime Minister Modi wanted to achieve a symbolic victory against Pakistan, which it failed. Number 2, it wanted to embarrass Pakistan internationally and achieve symbolic hegemony. It again failed because Pakistan demonstrated its will and capacity and capability that it will always maintain balance of power in South Asia. It is and it restored the credibility of its deterrence. That any attempt to undermine the deterrence, any attempt to harm peace will be responded through a quid pro quo plus doctrine to ensure that whatever you do will cause you more pain, harm and embarrassment than you are willing to inflict on Pakistan. And most importantly, Pakistan demonstrated before the entire international community that Pakistan is a sovereign, independent, but responsible nuclear power. Its commitment to peace should not be seen as a weakness. If anybody attempts to harm Pakistan's sovereignty and territorial integrity, will receive a befitting, timely, swift, and proportionate response, and it will not go unpunished. So Pakistan demonstrated that, and thankfully that has proven that Pakistan always maintains the ability to prevent repeated Indian attempts to create crisis and to undermine strategic stability and harm peace in this region. And Pakistan has always defeated all such attempts, and in future Pakistan will continue to defeat all such attempts in future as well.
This is quite significant. So we are gradually moving to the last portion of our program. Precisely, you will tell us what lessons were learned from that 27th February. And you very precisely mentioned that Pakistan's capability, Pakistan's diplomatic strategy, Pakistan's strategic communication, civil military coordination, and these all things definitely led to success of Pakistan. Whatever India wanted to achieve, the way you mentioned, India failed in all these domains. But unfortunately, we have seen now, recently Indian Prime Minister visited Washington, held meeting with the current US President, and India again made promise to provide latest defense equipment, including the latest fighter jets. Why it is so?
I think this is a very important and relevant question. You're probably referring to Mr. Trump's offer
Exactly, of F-35.
to provide F-35
Exactly.
fifth generation
Latest
stealth
aircraft.
fighter to India. My view is slightly different from the popular view, and I'll tell you that I don't take it as a foregone conclusion that despite Mr. Trump's magnanimous offer, India may still not accept or induct F-35.
India may not accept.
May not accept it for 4 reasons. Let me tell you why. Number one, Indian Air Force is primarily based on the Russian technology. Its entire aviation industry is based on primarily
On Russian technology.
Russian technology. Secondly, its entire training regime, communication system, air defense system is of Russian design. Secondly, India values its strategic autonomy as an objective above operational excellence and above technological superiority. This is very important to understand in terms of Indian strategic culture. This is not the first time American administration has offered India the most advanced weapons. Let me share with your viewers that previously India had been offered 2 very important things.
True.
Number one, you would recall I was in Washington, I think it was in 2006 or 7 when Indo-US nuclear deal was offered. But to this date, I think it's been almost 19 years. India has 22 nuclear reactors.
India has 22 nuclear reactors.
reactors, and all of them are of Russian origin or Russian technology. They have not purchased even a single nuclear reactor
From
from the
United
US,
States.
despite their advanced technology. Secondly, when India was bidding to purchase advanced fighter aircraft for its aircraft carriers, 6 aircraft participated in its bid. And that included the McDonnell Douglas most advanced F-18C EF Super Hornet. It included Rafale. It included Russian aircraft. It included European fighter aircraft. It included other aircraft as well. But India chose Rafale aircraft over the American technology, not only because it is technologically superior, but because France offers more flexible terms and conditions than America. You know very well, Pakistan knows very well, in number of conflicts and crises, our spares were stopped.
Exactly, Pakistan.
So India
It's
also knows
very
that
important
even if
aspect here.
you receive something which is very advanced and sophisticated, what good is that weapon system if its spares are stopped when you need these
when
weapons?
you need these spare for
So that is something
maintaining
which is why India prefers to go for Mirage 2000,
And Russians
Rafale and Russian
French.
aircraft. Secondly, their own aircraft, Tejas, symbolizes their hope to develop an indigenous fighter aircraft similar to JF-17 Thunder. They have not succeeded so far.
True.
But they want to have their own fighter jet. if a millions or billions of Indian money in dollars is given to the US to help Mr. Trump save the jobs of American defense industry workers, then it will mean that the jobs of Indian aviation industry workers are at risk. So that means it will have to divert funds from their own Hindustan Aeronautical Limited
True.
towards foreign procurement and review their policy of strategic autonomy. Lastly, it is
please.
highly unlikely that India expects all defense suppliers, whether it is France or Russia, to provide complete transfer of technology and build and assemble those aircraft in India.
Within India, true.
I don't think
It will happen.
F-35 is the most advanced US fighter and the most expensive US fighter program in its history. It is unlikely that Trump will offer assembly line or production
Technology
plants in
transfer.
India because that goes against Mr. Trump's own agenda, that he wants to save American jobs and industry. If he
Exactly.
shifts the production line in India, it will not provide the jobs to Americans. It will provide jobs to Indians.
Very true.
And the technology is so sensitive and it is not compatible with Russian air defense system and communication system and radar system. And you recall very well, in case of Turkey, Turkey was supposed to receive F-35 as a member of NATO.
True.
But US backed out of this offer
Of
from
that deal.
Turkey when they bought the Russian surface-to-air S-400 missiles. India already has S-400 missiles. India already has French and Russian radar systems and communication system, which is not compatible with American weapon system. So based on these very valid and logical reasons and India's strategic anxiety and suspicions about American coercion, I doubt that India, despite this offer, will accept
Will go.
it and depend heavily on an American fifth generation weapon system.
Lastly, we are close to the program. Last question. Since this 27th February 2019, if we look into last 6 years, right? So there have been many provocative statements from Indian leaders. Quite recently, there have been provocative statements from Indian Army Chief, then from Indian Defense Minister Rajnath. And in one of the recent meeting of Pakistan Army Corps commanders, a strong exception was taken to these provocative statements. So tell us that despite 27th February befitting response from Pakistan, knowing Pakistan's strong defense capability, why India is making provocative statement that we will get back Azad Jammu and Kashmir, we will attack alleged terror camps and something like that. So same trend is still continuing.
I think very important last question. I think two aspects are very important. First off, since 6 years, let me tell your viewers that in the past 6 years, Pakistan Air Force and all our three services have improved their training, their weapon systems, and today they are much more capable than they were 6 years ago.
Oh, really?
So if they attempt anything similar, let me tell you that India is going to receive a much bloodier nose than they received 6 years ago. Today, Pakistan,
In case of again any
today,
eventuality.
Pakistan Air Force enjoys technological superiority over Indian Air Force. Let me tell you, despite numerical inferiority, Pakistan has 4.5 generation J-10C aircraft whose ability to shoot down Indian fighters is far more advanced at great distances than Indian Air Force. So Indian Air Force knows it very well. That's why it is highly unlikely they will attempt something irresponsible in future. Secondly, Pakistan Air Force in particular, but Army and Navy as well, our readiness, our situational awareness, our experience, our confidence, and our synergy, and the capability of our air defense system is much more advanced. It is not just
air
based
defense system of
it is,
Pakistan.
it is not just based on the fighter aircraft as well. It is Pakistan Air Force and Pakistan Army Air Defense System both have acquired long range and medium range surface to air missiles which can hit distant aircraft much before they can enter Pakistan airspace.
True.
So the Indian airspace is being monitored 24/7 and they can be shot down even without our interceptors as well. So we have much more advanced surface to air weapon systems, both our Pakistan Army Aviation, and we have tested and demonstrated that. Our training exercises have been held where we have tested and absorbed these weapon systems and mastered their use in different scenarios and crisis situations. Secondly, I think why India continues to make such provocative statements
Yes, this
about
is
Pakistan and
exactly what it
Azad
wanted
Jammu and
to
Kashmir.
achieve.
There are three reasons. Number one is political. Because the Indian political leadership, unfortunately, tries to divert attention from their domestic economic and political problems by trying to glorify themselves, by trying to attack Pakistan and harm the strategic stability and peace and security in this region. This is unfortunate. That is for their own political point scoring. Secondly, despite deployment of hundreds of thousands of Indian forces and paramilitary forces in Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir, India has failed to suppress
exactly.
and extinguish the fire of freedom by the Kashmiri people. And that has caused serious morale issues and discipline issues in Indian military. So they also need to keep their morale high and divert attention
by making such
statements. Also, if the Indian military leadership does not make such a statement, how will they justify the huge funding that they are receiving in terms of the Indian defense budget?
This is the punchline.
If their political leadership realizes that these $74 billion which they are spending on some false and imaginary scenarios rather than on the welfare and progress of their poor people is a waste of money, how will the Indian Armed Forces receive these budgets? And lastly, the fourth objective is to sort of impress America that since we have achieved hegemony in South Asia, now we are available for countering China. So the message for Washington is such that Pakistan expects Washington to continue its lasting commitment towards peace, security, and strategic stability in this region. This is also not just Pakistani or Indian, but American interest. American investments in India and Pakistan and in this region should be protected through responsible strategic behavior of India. And while India claims that it will counter China, it is also a reality that they have 8 times greater bilateral trade between Beijing and New Delhi than there is between Beijing and Pakistan.
True.
So Washington should not neglect that, and Washington should not overestimate Indian strategic commitment against China and towards the US.
Indeed, Washington should not ignore the ground realities of South Asia. And just concluding by what Dr. Syed Muhammad Ali Saab has said, that on this 6th anniversary of Operation Swift Retard, Alhamdulillah, Pakistan's armed forces are much capable, much better. Pakistan's air defense system, missile system, Pakistan's Air Force, Pakistan's fighter jets are much capable of giving a strongest response in case if there is another eventuality from India against Pakistan. And whatever these provocative statements which are being made by Indian political and military leaders are just point scoring and to justify huge funding. and justify their huge defense funds and the budget. Thank you so much, Dr. Syed Muhammad Ali Saab. And dear viewers, this is one of the most insightful discussion on very, very important incident of India and Pakistan's conflict history. And we hope that you will definitely enjoy this very vibrant, very thought-provoking discussion. Till our next program, goodbye and Allah Hafiz from studios.